welcome to Rotary Focus. I am so excited today to be here to talk about one of our premier programs within Rotary, and that is our Rotary Youth Exchange. This program is unique, it changes lives, it's uplifting, and I hope today y'all will be uplifted and inspired to learn about those who make this program possible. And with us today is our Rotary Youth Exchange Chairperson for District 5810, Mr. Michael Pugh. Michael, would you tell us a little bit about the program and how you got involved in the Youth Exchange and what all Rotarians need to know about this wonderful program?
So, hello, I'm Michael Pugh. I am in charge of the Youth Exchange program in our area. The program is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for high school age students. It is that opportunity for them to learn a new language, to get a taste of a different culture, to experience the world as they've never experienced it before, to do those things in a safe environment that is an environment that helps them understand the new challenges and deal with those new challenges and really give them the opportunity to blossom and expand their living and their experiences and their way of life. When they come back home, they can just experience a wonderful idea of being with their friends back home and tell them all the different things that they missed because they didn't go on an exchange.
So, Michael, these exchanges are basically, we're sending our youth to a foreign country and they're sending their youth to our country, and they stay in homes of parents and go to school. Is that correct?
That's right, Bill. We have students from all over the world that could come. Any area that has a exchange program is welcome to do an exchange with us. We have no restrictions on that part. We can have students come in from Belgium, from Italy, from France, from Spain, from Taiwan, from Japan, many other places. It's really, the world is open to anyone that wants to come in. We have two different types of programs in the Youth Exchange. There's a long-term and a short-term. The long-term is for a full academic year. That full academic year usually starts somewhere in the August time frame, ends in the June time frame, somewhere like that. These students will stay with host families. It's an opportunity for a host family to meet another person from another country and have them stay with them for a time. The short-term opportunity is usually during the summer. It's usually about 3 to 4 weeks. A student will go to a foreign country and stay with that matched student's family. Then they will come back with that student from a foreign country and stay in their own home for another 3 to 4 weeks. So that gives you that little snippet of being in a new country, a new culture, a new language, some experiences of figuring out what is the world about.
Mike, this is definitely a blessing to the students to have that immersion in another culture, and for the students who come here to see the United States and actually live with the students here, go to the football games, go to the rodeo, go to New York City, have a blast. But I also understand it's a blessing to the families who host these students. Can you speak to that?
Yes, the host families are not only the crux, but they are the backbone of the program. The host families build relationships with our students that are coming from foreign countries. Many of those students stay in contact with their host family for years and years and years and build a relationship that is lifelong. The host families are fantastic. They get so much out of this also.
That sounds wonderful. Can anybody be a host family, or do you have to have your student going overseas?
Anyone can be a host family. You do not have to be a Rotarian. You can be anyone that is willing to be a loving, supportive, helpful family.
We're so blessed here to have two households represented with us today. We have Jane and John Curtis. Our district governor, John Curtis, and Janie have hosted students for over 30 years, multiple times. And then Roxana, who has just sent her student home and still teary-eyed from having to see him to go to talk to us about what it's like to be a host family. John, tell us a little bit about y'all's experience as host families and what it's meant to you.
Well, thank you, Bill. We've had something like 10 young people come and stay with us, and in our area, we've sent that many out to be in foreign countries too. But the kids who come with us, they bring their culture with them, and they learn our culture. It's sort of a two-way street. They are the ambassador of their country. We become the ambassadors of our country, and we through a process of just conversation and learning about each other, we develop a way that we can all live together and enjoy the company and go through the learning process as well, which is a very important piece of this. It's part of bringing somebody into your home and then learning from them about their country and about their customs, and also teaching about our customs.
Now, Janie, you are a parent when you do this still. Tell me about the parenting side of being a host parent.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. This last few years, we've felt much more like host grandparents, but it's still great. And the young people seem to be very happy to be staying with grandparents as well as parents. So we just have loved it. We've had children, young people, really, from a variety of countries. Several from Brazil, France, Kazakhstan.
Indeed.
And we didn't even know, or I didn't at least, really where Kazakhstan was. And now I have a Kazakhstan daughter, so it's really exciting.
And John, I'm hearing that all the time. When people host, they later forever and ever say, I have this son here and this daughter here. Is that truly the way it feels?
We were in Australia for the Rotary convention this late spring, and we stayed with our Australian daughter and her family before we went to the convention, and then we traveled with them after the convention to Tasmania, and they showed us that part of their country. It was like reliving old times, but now they're adults with kids in high school and college, and hopefully they'll become exchange students someday. That would be the goal.
Beautiful. And so there's not a requirement that you have school-age children to do this. You can have your children up and grown and your children having children, and you can still be a wonderful host parent.
Absolutely.
Roxanne, tell us your story about your hosting and what your experience has been as you're just off that experience. Tell us the good things about it and maybe some of the challenges maybe.
Yes, we hosted a student from France. Her name is Olivia, and her dream was to come to the U.S., and she was the amazing student. She wanted to attend a prom. She wanted to experience a Thanksgiving, and we actually went to Pittsburgh and we were reunited with all the family in Pittsburgh. We were around 20 people, and it was amazing just to see her face, her eyes light up just to when we said the prayer and she wanted to cut the turkey, and also after that, Christmas and Santa came to the house, and they don't do that in France. And she also joined, this is a big thing for her, she joined the cross-country team. And she made a lot of friends there. And by the end of the year, she had 10 friends, very close relationship with them. And many of them were in the cross-country team, and it was just fabulous. I love seeing her eyes light up to all these U.S. experiences.
So, Roxana, you've actually brought us some pictures of some of these experiences. Can you describe these experiences? What are we looking at here?
Sure, Bill. We have the first day Olivia came back from France. She went right into action. She went to football game, and we can see her in the picture with her whole sister and a friend she met that day. And Olivia is in school in this picture, and she's wearing, this is pajama day. They don't have this in France, wearing pajamas and Crocs. And she was just so happy to do this. Great experience. Prom, she got to buy a long dress, shiny, and she has her flowers, and this was the experience she couldn't wait to do. In this picture, she's her sister, host sister, Olivia and me. We went to New York, and this day we took a 5-hour tour to New York.
Roxana, that looks like a wonderful experience. But I understand it's not just all like a big vacation. I mean, they are really going to school. They are in these formative high school years, and there's always so much going on, and y'all are the parents. Michael, can you speak to that for a moment?
Sure, Bill. We are the parents when you're there, when the student is there with you. You are the disciplinarian, you are the joy taker, you are the transportation, you have to make sure that they go to high school. You are there for their parents. You get to listen to the drama that happens in high school. You get to give your advice to the student. That student is your son or daughter. You treat them as if they were your biological son or daughter. It is an environment that builds a loving, trusting environment that just is so exquisite. I know that many of our students have had wonderful experiences with their host families, and our host families just love the fact that they were with those students and build out onto this environment when they're in their high school years.
Mike's absolutely right. You become a parent to this young person that's staying with you. You're dealing with all the trials and tribulations and the happiness too. But one thing that we didn't expect to have happen, and it did, is that we were visiting our daughter, our Brazilian daughter and her family in Rio, and her intended husband came to me and said, as you're the American dad, I'm asking you for her hand in marriage, which was rather emotional at the time. And we became padronas in her wedding, which means we're one of 6 couples who became the wedding party at the altar. And so our parenting, our being parents to this young lady has continued. It was there when she was with us. It was there when we visited. It's there today.
There was curfews, and there was things that each of my kids, which is Olivia from France and Isabella, they have chores in the house. They help after dinner. They wash dishes. They help me picking up, and Olivia would ask me for help for when it was time to do her homework, and I love helping her with Spanish, and but there was a time where a teacher sent me a message, and she said, "Well, Olivia is not doing her homework." So we spoke, and she had it done, and she had some questions, and we helped her. My husband helped her, and everything after that worked out really good.
We can have plenty of resources for the host families. We have an orientation class that before the students even get here, we make sure that all of the host families are together and they can ask questions, and we can give them the idea of what they're going to get into, and they can actually help each other by asking questions, but having all of the host families together in one initial host families together in one room. The whole process is supported by my committee. We have anyone that wants to ask questions to any of the committee or myself. We're always open to help the host families in any questions that they might have, situations that come up. Traveling to a different country that have certain paperwork. There's all kinds of different things we can help with. We have our Rotary clubs that have Rotarians that will help whenever possible. We have, really our whole Rotary district that could help with anything that is at all possible, that if a student wants something or if a host family needs an idea or a suggestion of what to do for an outing, or what do you do with this situation. We have those resources, and we have youth protection officers that also help us understand what those issues might be. We have people that can help us with with all kinds of things that go right or wrong.
Well, so there's a ton of resources. A host family is not abandoned on an island without information. They get a lot of training beforehand, and then they have some support along the way, and they've got their entire Rotary friends to help with events. In fact, I've seen Rotary clubs actually fight over who's going to take the student next weekend to either the football games or baseball or flying or to the beach. Or I want to be one of these youth exchange students. But as a parent, as a youth exchange parent, it sounds glorious. It sounds wonderful. You probably have a long waiting list of people who want to be host parents with this wonderful opportunity. Is that right?
The one thing that we do need is host families. We need you. We are always looking for host families. The more, the better. This is just a fantastic opportunity for someone. You don't have to have school-age children. You could have no children. They can all be out of the family. You can have really young children. It does not matter. The biggest thing is to have a loving, helpful family that is willing to take a student in from a different country and really give them the understanding of Texas, or the understanding of a family that's not their own, and actually have someone who 30 years later you could have at their wedding.
Yeah, what I wanted to share was how we got involved in this in the first place, because it was quite by accident. Somebody came to our club and said we needed a host family, and were comparatively new to Rotary at the time, and we didn't know what else to do. We didn't know anything about youth exchange, but we raised our hands. Okay, the young man came. He stayed with us. It was wonderful. It caused us to find our passion in Rotary, and that's what got us going. It was the first young man. We've had young men and women come with us over these years, and it's probably the best thing that has ever happened to us in the whole of our Rotary experience.
And that blessed us, because now you're our district governor, so that's great. And good thing you found the passion. I guess you've done this several times too, right, Michael? You've hosted a few family students?
I hosted a student from Latvia many years ago.
Okay.
It's just the most wonderful thing.
Yeah.
You get so much more out of it than you put into it. So much more.
And you do it again? Y'all do it again?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Everybody will do it again.
Yeah,
He has to. So, Michael, this is indeed a very large program. In fact, we have a picture here of the exchange students that went to Switzerland, and that looks like 50, maybe 100 students going to Switzerland. How many students come to Texas each year, and how many are we responsible for within our district each year?
Well, this year, we're estimating around 80 exchange students that are coming to Texas. This year, we have 6 that are coming in, 3 from Spain, 3 from Japan, 2 from Spain, and 1 from Germany. That's about our norm, is about 5 or 6. My goal for next year is to have 10. I would love to have 10 inbound students. That would be fantastic.
What will it take for us to get to 10 inbound students?
Well, one of the things that we'll need, and we need your help on this, is we need 20 host families. I have 2 committed already. I really need 10 more families, and that would be fantastic. That would show this district as being really committed to youth exchange.
Beautiful. And as I look at this group, this panel before us, I see 1 host family. You do it again, right? You're doing it again, right?
I'll do it.
And Curtis's, y'all in for another?
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
And we got how many Rotary clubs, John? 61 clubs?
61.
We only need a third of those clubs to take a student. If your club, even a small club of 10 Rotarians, you can find 1 set of parents to take a youth exchange student. And the rest of the district, we will bring those students together just like they did in Switzerland to go do fun things. It is a wonderful program. And to get involved, all you have to do is reach out to this wonderful individual, the president this year of SCRI, Mr. Michael Pugh. Michael's information is right here. John, Janie, y'all are getting started with a great Rotary year. I am pleased that y'all took the time to be here between all your visitations. And Roxanne, thank you for being here with us and taking care of a student, and going to do another one next year. For now, This is the Rotary Roundup, and we'll see you next time.